So take me down the road that's a little bit windy, to a place they still put sugar in their iced tea, where the women are fine and the love is fair. Yeah, driver, you can drive me off anywhere.
Hey driver, pull on over, I'm in a fight with God. This Carolina shoulder seems the place I'm getting off. Daddy always told me, never make a home on the road while your lady's sneaking out and the kids are growing old. Hey driver, I've been riding this lonely way too long. All the love I had worth giving was all spent on my songs. Hey driver, the boys are gambling with more than just their cars, with their bottles and their drugs and their Bibles in their hearts. So take me down the road that's a little bit windy, to a place they still put sugar in their iced tea, where the women are fine and the love is fair. Yeah, driver, you can drop me off anywhere. Yeah, driver, you can drop me off anywhere.
Hey, what's happening, you guys? So today I'm out in the woods. I took a walk out here. I don't know if you can tell, but we got a big beaver dam right there. Be dope if a beaver came out, but probably not. I'm gonna be making some noise. So yeah, so this week I was gonna talk about the Navy Corpsman, and I'm not a huge expert on Navy Corpsman stuff. I mean, I've been through, the Marine Corps. I've dealt, with Navy Corpsman through the years, and it's not that the Marine Corps is just not about soldiers or not about airmen. It has nothing to do with that. It's not that we're not about, Coast Guardians or anything. It's not that we're not into it. It's just the Navy Corpsman is the individual that goes through the shit with infantry cats, the Marine Corps infantry cats, the grunts, right? So we have a lot of respect for these guys. They're sitting there and fighting holes with us, and they're being belligerent in the field with us. They're having a great time with us. They're doing real tactical infantry things. I mean, we put them through drills. We put them through live fire drills with us. We put them through all kinds of shit that we put, our regular infantry cats through, because they're there with us, 100% of the time. And I'm talking about the green side corpsmen. So you got the blue side corpsmen and you got the green side corpsmen. And the blue side corpsmen are the guys that, they work at the Naval Hospital. They work, strictly with Navy personnel the majority of the time. When you have cats like green side corpsmen, these are the guys that are like, all right, they're told, hey, they're given orders. They're like, hey, you're going to go hang out with a Marine Corps infantry unit for like 2 or 3 years. So these guys get thrown into the mix with us. A lot of times these guys don't even realize that that's where they're going to end up, and they end up with a bunch of infantry guys. So, but they have a soft place in Marines' hearts. And I'm sorry, I keep saying infantry guys, because my experience is dealing with corpsmen in the infantry, but Navy corpsmen, are shotgun blasted across all different kinds of MOSs in the Marine Corps. Those are our medics. Like, for example, the Army has an Army medic that's a soldier, right? An Army soldier, and he's a medic, and he rolls with units, and he rolls with small units, large units, and he's just taking care of the soldiers, the individual soldiers, even infantry soldiers. Their medics are taking care of them. So, but God, it's beautiful out here. I'm sorry. But that being said, the Navy Corpsman is what we have as a medic. We don't have a Marine Corps medic. We don't have Marine Corps medical personnel. We have Navy Corpsmen. We have Navy doctors. We have Navy dentists. That's everything we have is pretty much through the Navy. Being that, the Marine Corps is a branch of the Navy. I think they're logging over there. A lot of noise, but I know there's a bunch of logging areas further that way. Anyways, so So the corpsman is given to infantry units. I'm going to keep saying infantry units because that's, like I said, that's my preference. They're given to us, and they train with us. They train alongside us. They go to the field with us. They prep for the field with us. They go through gear checks with us. They deploy with us. They're eating, breathing, and shitting and pissing alongside us. Like, literally, your corpsman is probably going to be shitting in a fucking foxhole right next to you in the field or anywhere else. For example, like at our FOBs in Afghanistan, they live on the FOB with us. They're there with us. That's why, like, I keep saying this, but it's true. They just got to really, they're just, there's a soft spot in our hearts for Navy Corpsman. So we love these guys. Anyways, so I was speaking to one recently, a buddy of mine, and even to this day, like, these guys are so about their Marines. Navy corpsmen are so about their Marines. Like, to this day, I've not served, right, since 2018. And I have not seen or spoke to a lot of these cats in a long time. So just to hit one up and ask for medical advice. And then we get into, like, these tangents about how it was when we were serving together. And then, you know, he's got, like, ideas for unit sweat tops, unit sweaters for the unit he served with us, a Marine Corps unit he served with us, because this motherfucker is through and through a Marine. Like, I mean, I don't know how to explain it any other way. We love our Navy corpsmen. They're Marines, dog. So this exposure thing is fighting me today. I'm going to do my best to try to keep up with it, but for the most part, it's going to be coming in and out of exposure, or not exposure. There we go. See, now it's over. Anyways, it's not your problem. I'm still learning camera shit. But yes, the Navy corpsman is an asset, to say the least. So, but they're not all assets. Now hear me out. I've had some fucking phenomenal corpsmen in the past, and I can just drop some names. You know, we got Hayes, Moore, Knight, and then there's like a handful of really garbage corpsmen. And even Navy corpsmen will tell you they're shitty Navy corpsmen. But what you want is a fucking badass corpsman. A lot of these guys, like, for example, one of them, I said their name, I'm not going to keep saying their names, but one of them, like, this guy was gung-ho, ready to get out and fucking take the fight to the enemy in Afghanistan. Like, this guy wanted to fucking take the fight to the enemy, and we had to be like, yo, Doc, we love you, man, and we love the attitude, but if you go down, like, we're fucked, you know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, you really kind of want to keep your corpsman alive, right? Because they're the one that's, you know, providing life-saving care or life-extending care to you in the meantime. So it's very important we keep them alive. But if you do get a gung-ho Navy corpsman, they're fucking awesome to have. They're just fucking the best. I'm sorry, guys. This fucking thing. Anyways, so yeah, Navy corpsman. This episode is going to be kind of devoted to them. I don't know a lot about their training. I do know that on a regular basis, they take Marines aside, like a whole squad of Marines, sit them down, and they put them through classes, so that if the Navy corpsman does go down, that these guys, maybe they're not corpsmen like as badass as a Navy corpsman, like medically wise, but they can still perform simple tasks to save or extend life. So, for example, tourniquets, we could have a whole fucking class for fucking 3 or 4 hours on just like how to use a tourniquet, how to tighten a tourniquet, how to use makeshift tourniquets, how to turn your belt into a tourniquet, how to turn a piece of your shirt into a tourniquet. And then we could run fucking practical training, you know, for the rest of the day, another 3 or 4 hours. And a Navy corpsman will be running the whole operation. And that's just tourniquets. And I'm talking about, like, they beat the shit into you, so it's fucking there. I mean, you have to have patience and compassion to teach these crazy fucking Marines things like as simple as tourniquets, you know, for fucking 8 to 10 hours a day. Like, you have to fucking have patience with us, and these guys do. They understand us more so than I think anybody really does, and I think it's because they're kind of infantry cats now, you know, like they've been through it with the grunts, they've been through it for fucking years on end, the field, the deployments, the training. And I'm talking about, like, dude, they're going up and down ranges with us. They're running. They're doing buddy rush ranges. They're fucking... And then, you know what? A lot of times, you know, when you're training up for a deployment, you know, they put you through these pre-training checklists. So you're going to, you know, you're going to be in the field for a month, but you're doing certain things in the field. You're you're combining exercises with other units, like you're doing like CAX or ITX. Like these things are like big pre-deployment check marks that you have to get done before you can deploy. So like I'm saying, like we're running up and down ranges on a daily basis, and then we call them coyotes, but they're like instructors that their job solely is to prepare units for deployment. And these guys will throw all kinds of shit into they'll throw all kinds of little fucking sticks and fucking rocks and shit into your spokes just to fuck up your fucking bicycle ride. You know what I'm saying? So for example, like if you're a corpsman, they might just see you and they'll be like, all right, corpsman, you're dead. And then your Marines will have to perform not as corpsmen, but the best they can to their ability, in which the Navy corpsman had trained them to do so. And I'm not saying it's the Navy corpsman's responsibility, but the best Navy corpsmen are the ones that give a shit and try to train the Marines. I'm not saying they have to do it, but I'm saying that the best ones do it, right? So a lot of times when you're going through these trainings, the coyotes will be, hey, you're dead. And then you got to one of these fucking Marines have to run up, perform some kind of life-saving aid or mimic some life-saving aid. And then you will get evaluated. Your Marines will get evaluated. Your corpsmen will be evaluated. The whole unit will be evaluated on how they perform that specific situation. I'm talking about like this is just out of nowhere, because that's how these coyotes operate. And it's best that they do that, right? So they keep us on our toes. They keep us fucking doing exactly what it is we need to be doing when we need to be doing it. So these cats, the Navy corpsmen are impressive, bro, and they stay after it. And I'm talking like physically too. Some of the greatest corpsmen are fucking PTing harder. Or I was going to say as hard as or harder than Marines. You'll see Navy corpsmen being in better shape than Marines. And a lot of them take it personally. If you speak to a Navy corpsman, a lot of them take it personally that they want to be fit and ready just in case they have to drag a 200, 250-pound man out of a fucking kill zone. They want to be ready for that. And they are. Like I'm saying, like they don't... I keep saying they don't have to because they're technically from the Navy, but the better Navy corpsmen, the best ones, will be there at 05 or whatever, 04:30, 05 in the morning, PTing with the Marines as a squad with the Marines. Like they're there, they're embedded, right? The best ones do that. And then you got shady corpsmen that I've had in the past too that try to get out of like boots and utes runs. Those of you that know, like boots and utilities. So like a lot of times Marines will go PTing physical training, and they'll go running around in cargo pants and boots. You know what I mean? Like who does that? You know what I'm saying? But the Marine Corps does it, right? And Navy corpsmen, a lot of the badass ones, the better ones, they'll fucking run alongside Marines. And it's not good for your knees. You should not go put on a pair of fucking hiking boots and go running. That's not the best thing you should do for your body. But I'm saying that's what we did on a regular basis. And the best corpsmen would be right there with you doing it as well. They put their body right through it, just the way the Marines do. Like, and that's why it's hard for a lot of Marines that have served with good corpsmen to say that the Navy corpsman is not the closest thing to a brother from any other branch than anybody. They just are. Like, I've had like corpsmen that I look at and I'm just like, yo, he's more of a badass Marine than some of the Marines that I've had under me or with me or over me. There's some badass fucking corpsmen out there ready to save fucking lives, and they teach, they train, and alongside, and they teach and train Marines to perform their job if they go down. And I know this because I've seen it, right? For example, like as a squad leader, you would train your team leaders to take your position if you go down in a firefight or if you fucking get taken out of the fight for whatever reason. There has to be some kind of succession of command, right? There has to be some kind of, someone has to be able to fill those boots immediately. And a corpsman understands this. That's why he wants every single Marine to be able to operate, maybe not as great as he can or as medically certifiable as he can, but at least they can perform tasks to extend human life to the point where they can pass over that body or pass over that individual, or pass over that life that's been extended to somebody that can perform more care. So it behooves, and I'm using that term loosely. Y'all know what behoove mean, right? It behooves of you as a corpsman to make sure your Marines are capable of doing this basic life extending tasks like tourniquets, stop the bleeding, sucking chest wounds, needle D. These little things right here are all taught to me by corpsmen, right? There's no course there is. Excuse me. I think there was like 2 courses at the time. There was TCCC, which was a medical course that Marines would go to, and technically it was like a certification, so it looked good on MOL. But it is what it is. You get better training from your corpsman at the end of the day, except for even better than live tissue training, which I'm pretty sure they don't do anymore. I don't know when they stopped it, but I went through the live tissue training, and they blow off arms off of pigs and with shotguns or whatever, and you have to tourniquet, and you have to try to keep the pig alive as long as possible. PETA got wind of it. They're not super fans of it, so the Marine Corps kind of shut it down. But back in the day, we used to do it, and that was great training, right? Because you see blood, you see life dwindling away from the eyes of a pig, and you have to fucking perform the best you can to try to keep that light in the pig's eyes as long as possible, right? It's great training. It's sad if you're an animal person, I guess, but it keeps Marines alive, right? You want Marines to know how to save a life. When the time comes for it, you want them to know how to do it. And Navy Corpsmen understand that, like I said. So if you haven't been through live tissue training, or if you haven't been through TCCC, or if they even don't offer that in the Marine Corps anymore, I'm not really sure if they do or if they don't, then it behooves of you as a corpsman to train your Marines to the best of your ability, and it behooves of your Marines to take training very seriously from their corpsman. And I'm talking about all a corpsman has to do. And if you're a young corpsman now in the Marine Corps, listen to this. All you have to do is go talk to your squad leader. Be like, look, man, could I get the Marines for 4 hours tomorrow? If a squad leader tells you no, and I don't want to shit on anybody's parade, but if a squad leader tells you, no, corpsman, you cannot have my Marines for 4 hours tomorrow to teach them tourniquets, or to teach them needle D, or to teach them fucking sucking chest wounds, or anything. For 4 hours, you can't have my Marines. Dude, then that's a garbage squad leader. And I'm not saying you should go above his head, but maybe bring it up to the platoon commander, platoon sergeant. Be like, look, I would love to train the Marines. I brought it up. He said that he had some training. Be tactful about it, right? Be like, the squad leader said that he had some training already planned for tomorrow for 4 hours that I wanted to use them for, the Marines, to train them on tourniquets. Is there a possible way I could get them maybe next week for a couple of hours? Just ask the platoon sergeant, platoon commander, and be tactful, like I said. Don't go over the head of your squad leader until you fucking exercise those fucking those routes of leadership first. Go through your squad leader, go through your team leader, then go through your squad leader. Your team leader should always be there to support your corpsman. And if you're not, dude, then you're also a garbage team leader. Remember, if you're the team leader with the corpsman in your team, then you are very important. You have to maintain that corpsman's well-being and make sure that he can still be alive and exist to save the lives of the Marines in the squad. And as a team leader, you understand that. That's part of your weaponry as a team leader. Every team leader knows, right? Your weapons is your team. You got an M4 and M16. Yeah, you got a 203. Yeah, you're a grenadier, right? But that grenadier, technically, you're marking targets for your team. You shouldn't be just blowing shit up because you're fucking gung-ho fucking Rambo. You should be marking targets for your weapon, for your Marines and your corpsmen, right? So understanding as a team leader that you are a team leader and your team is your weapon, and the same goes for a squad leader. You have to be tactical in order to use and manipulate and perform as a squad with your 3 to 4 teams, right? Whether it be flanking or whether it be IA drills or whatever it is you're doing as a squad leader, you have to be able to perform that knowing that your squad is your fucking weapon, right? So yeah, as a squad leader, you're not fucking running up to the front, taking cover and firing fucking accurate rounds down range. You're not doing that, bro. You should take a back seat and kind of look at like you're playing a board game, bro. You got your team here, there, and there, right? And you should be operating that way. You should be like, okay, I'm going to push these guys up. And you got all radio comms. As long as you're good with your radios, they should stay up. And if they don't, then you should have a radio operator, or it should be who of you as well, squad leader or team leader, to train your boys, or make sure you have the training to train your boys, or get a radio operator to train your boys on how to preset their fucking radios, or how to fucking troubleshoot their radios, because these motherfuckers go down constantly. So, and they're a pain in the ass to fucking deal with. But if you have savvy Marines that are capable of dealing with them, then you should be good to go, because they will go down. It's just a matter of fucking making sure you got the guys with the intelligence and the capabilities to fucking put them back up. And you know what? If you got a badass corpsman and you got a class coming up for radio operators, a radio operations class or something, if you have a badass corpsman, he's going to want to go to that class too, because he wants to build his skill set as well. Because he can save a life, he can drop a tourniquet, he can do all these fucking great things. But now, if the radio goes down and you got 3 fucking Marines down and the fucking corpsman's right there by the radio, he doesn't have to call a Marine over here to do it. He can fucking do it himself. So I'm saying only the best corpsmen are the one that put themselves through the training with the Marines just because they know that they become more of an asset. Look, man, this has been 20 minutes, and I'm going to read a citation today. I'm going to pull it up real quick. But this has been 20 minutes of talking about Navy corpsmen, okay? And Navy corpsmen, like I said, are extreme assets and amazing individuals. And they make Marines more savvy, medically speaking, right? And not just that, man, they're a part of it. Like, they're there with you. They're a part of it. And you build camaraderie with Marines. You build camaraderie with your leadership if you got good leadership, right? You build camaraderie with those around you in the field, including the Navy corpsman. And that's why, to this day, I'm a firm believer that the closest brother to a Marine, and I'm talking about basically almost, or if not a Marine himself, is a corpsman, a Navy corpsman. And like I said, we're cool with soldiers, we're cool with Coast Guardians, and cool with damn airmen and the Space Force or whatever. We're cool with you guys, sure. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, all right, whatever. But a corpsman that served Greenside and some heavy shit with Marines, been through training with Marines, been through deployments with Marines, those guys, it's hard for Marines to look at them not as Marines. It's difficult for us to do that. So anyways, let me get to this citation, because we're coming to the that portion we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. We had a really good one. There it is. Here we go. All right. Now listen. This is Mayo Blackburn. All right. United States Marine Corps. And this is a Silver Star citation. And here we go. The President of the United States of America takes pride in presenting the Silver Star posthumously to Cpl Mayo Blackburn, United States Marine Corps. The conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity while in command of a combat group serving with the 1st Battalion 22nd Marines, 1st Provisional Marine Brigade during an attack on an enemy Japanese-held ridge near Arote Peninsula on Guam. Marianas Islands, 25 July 1944. With the advance of his company threatened by extremely heavy fire from cleverly concealed positions of the enemy, Cpl Blackburn, oh my God, hang on a second, courageously risked his life to move forward and locate the hidden emplacement. Returning to his group, he quickly brought up the mortar forward observers and directed vigorous fire against the Japanese emplacements, and although mortally wounded during the action, refused to be evacuated until the mission was successfully completed. His exceptional fortitude, valiant initiative, and unwavering devotion to duty at great peril to himself reflect the highest credits of Cpl Blackburn in the United States Naval Service. He gallantly gave his life for his country. This man died that day. He died that day getting mortars to where they needed to be. Now, it takes, like we talked about this last time, it takes a certain individual to run out into the line of fire. It takes an individual that you can't just fucking find these people. You know, these are the people that sign up to go places where no one else wants to go, to do things that they're not even sure probably at first they're capable of doing until the intensity strikes and they're fucking goosebumps, hair stands up on the back of your neck. Until these things start happening, you don't really know what you're capable of. Until you fucking see that tunnel vision, you really don't know. And a lot of times in that tunnel vision, things slow down. They slow down. Like you can, if you're yelling, right, and you're yelling, you're communicating with another team member or something that's so far away, and you guys are getting fired at, and you're fucking taking mortar fire, and Blackburn's up here pushing mortars a little bit further because Blackburn's a badass that will never be fucking forgotten. So help me God, right? When you have all this shit going on around you and you're screaming, you can almost tell that you're screaming. You feel like you're screaming normal, but you can almost hear your words are going slower. It's like your adrenaline is fucking firing off on all cylinders, and it's like it's hard to explain. Your adrenaline is going off crazy to the point where like everything slows down. I can't say it any more than that. And I've experienced this. That's why I'm saying it specifically. You feel like you're speaking slower. You feel like things are moving slower. It's like your body intensifies so rapidly within itself that like everything else slows down. So not only did Blackburn probably experience something similar to that, so his run to the fucking front, putting the mortar observers where they needed to be to put mortar fire on target, like him running through that, it might have felt like a trot or something, but he could have been a full fucking sprint. That's what I'm saying. Like everything slows down. He got a Silver Star and he died that day. So I'm never going to say that I knew what was going through his mind. I'm never going to say that 100% everything slowed down for him, because I don't know. That's how I operate. That's how I feel like my brain operates, my body operates. But that's me, right? Maybe Blackburn knew exactly what he was doing that day. Maybe Blackburn knew he wasn't coming home that night. Maybe that's what Blackburn knew. I don't know. But I do know that since 1944, no one out here is reading his fucking citation when he fucking should be celebrated on a daily basis, right? But that's just from World War II. Now, there's citations that we're going to be reading from all these different wars: Iraq, Afghanistan, World War II, World War I, Vietnam. I'm going to be pulling some citations, man. And this citation was sent to me by a great friend that I served with. Check him out, Wrong Turn Actual on Instagram. I'll put his Instagram right there. But yeah, he brought this to my attention, and I was like, yeah, man. I was like, I got some citations I got to read here in a couple of weeks, but I'm gonna make sure I get that one in like 2 or 3 from now. I said, screw that, man. I put Blackburn ahead. One, he's a United States Marine, right? And Semper fucking Fi, Blackburn, right? He's a fucking Marine. And 2, I just had a lot of respect for the guy who sent me that citation, and I have a lot of respect for that citation after I read it. But there's a lot of other badass motherfuckers out there that died putting the fight in for this country. Like, for example, I do want to get to Dunham, Jason Dunham, eventually. He was towards the beginning of Iraq and jumped on a grenade, died for his buddies. And it's like, why haven't I not heard about that since like 2010 probably? When last I heard about Jason Dunham was probably seeing pictures of him, around unit spaces at Lejeune, in 2010. You never hear about this cat, So just things like that. And Blackburn alone, like I'm talking about Dunham, and that's just not even 20 years ago. I think it is 20 years. I think he passed away in 2004. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is 20 years ago. And people have already forgot him. And it's fucked, right? But now we're talking about Blackburn, and that's 1944. Now we're talking about 80 years ago, So we're going to bring these people back to the light, man. We're going to make sure that they're celebrated the way they should be for the rest of our fucking natural born lives. Remember, you're walking around this free fucking country because of people like Blackburn and people like Dunham. Because of people like that, we are here experiencing freedom. I can walk out into the woods and tape this, which... I'm sorry, the exposure sucks, but otherwise, I get to see stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? That's gorgeous right over there. And no one is going to come out here and start firing at me. And no one is going to be able to tell me I can't do that. And the reason why is because badass motherfuckers like Blackburn and Jason Dunham put their lives out there for us so we can enjoy this and we can have this. So celebrate them today. Have a drink for them. Say a prayer for them if you want to. I know I'm going to have a drink for Blackburn today. I'm going to have a little Screwball peanut butter whiskey for Blackburn. And besides that, I love you guys. Please have a great day. And I'll see you next episode. Deuces.